From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
So it's simply trying to define better why women are having an abortion.
This is a classic situation of a wolf in sheep's clothing.
More debate and a delay over a controversial abortion bill, what it could mean for women in Arizona.
And will there be a Democratic switch in politics here in Arizona if and when State 48 will turn blue?
And veterans in Arizona are finding new places to call home, but they're a bit smaller than you'd expect.
And new estimates for President Trump's plan to send troops to the border. We reached out to lawmakers in the Arizona National Guard.
Welcome to this Cronkite News update here on Facebook Live. I'm Jamie Fossenkemper. Here are the top stories we're tracking today at noon. The House Intel Committee voted to release a memo by Chairman Devin Nunes. The memo says the FBI abused the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act to obtain a FISA warrant on Trump's former campaign policy advisor. Assistant Attorney General Stephen Boyd warns that it would be reckless for the committee to disclose this information to the public. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan supports the release of the memo.
Sunshine is the best disinfectant. And so what we want is all of this information to come out so that transparency can reign supreme and accountability can occur.
The White House has 5 days to decide if it will release the memo. Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, and J.P. Morgan Chase announced this morning they are working together to provide independent health care for their employees, with a focus on technology to provide, quote, simplified, high-quality health care. Analysts say these partnership between three of the nation's top companies is intended to improve health care overall in the U.S. Arizona Senator John McCain will not make it to President Trump's State of the Union address tonight due to his health. McCain is battling an aggressive form of brain cancer. In December, he was hospitalized for a viral infection and side effects from chemotherapy. McCain's office has not provided an update on his health since December. While McCain is missing for personal reasons, 11 Democratic senators say they will boycott the event. Tune into Cronkite News tonight at 5 for team coverage from Washington. Former Diamondbacks general manager Kevin Towers passed away today at the age of 56 after a battle with thyroid cancer. Towers was the general manager of the San Diego Padres for 15 years before coming to the D-backs in 2010. During his career in the Valley, the team won the National West League title in 2011. He was diagnosed with thyroid cancer in late 2016. And coming up on Cronkite News tonight, how a greenhouse in rural Arizona is helping the homeless community grow something more than vegetables. And an outbreak of strep zoo here in the Valley, how a local animal shelter is helping their dogs fight the infection.
These temperatures in the mid-80s make it feel like spring is already here.
Yeah, they certainly do, but a change is on the horizon. Courtney Malley is in our weather center tracking our forecast.
Thanks, Tyler. Let's take a look at the high and low temperature that we hit today. We hit 80 degrees earlier this afternoon and 53 degrees for a little bit chilly of a start for your morning. Those temperatures are going to stay in the low to mid 80s during your week because of this high pressure system that we're feeling from the West Coast. However, as the week progresses, that is going to change. As your day starts tomorrow, we're going to hit 78 degrees for our high temperature in Phoenix, 52 degrees in Flagstaff, 55 in the Grand Canyon, 63 in Prescott, and 77 down south in both Casa Grande and Tucson. As for your 7-day forecast, the next few days are going to be clear, sunny, and bright. So if you have some time, step outside and feel that heat. As the weekend starts, that low pressure system is coming into town, so it's going to be a little breezy on Saturday, and there is a slight chance of rain on. Thanks, Tyler and Noel. So our current temperature outside right now feels like a typical Arizona day, 74 degrees, clear skies with some light winds. Let's take a look at our valley temperatures for this evening. They are going to drop into the mid to lower 50s due to a low pressure system coming in from California. So if you can see here, it's going to be 50 in Phoenix tonight, 50 in Tempe, 47 in Mesa, 53 in Whitman, 51 in Buckeye, and 47 out in Goodyear. However, those low temperatures are going to switch to high temperatures when a high pressure system comes in just in time for the D-backs opening night on Thursday night. So our high temperature is going to be 86 degrees on Thursday before our first pitch at 7:10 p.m. against the Colorado Rockies. So be sure to have a little extra water that day if you're coming out to the game. Now, for the next 3 days, our highs are going to be 81 tomorrow, 86 Thursday, 91 on Friday. As your weekend starts, it's going to be 93 degrees on Saturday. So if you wanted to go on a hike, walk your dog, be sure to get out early. Otherwise, things are going to be a bit toasty for you guys. And for you who celebrate Easter, your high is going to be 89 degrees with some light cloud cover. In the Weather Center, I'm Courtney Malley. What are you doing right now?
Getting some B-roll of the show.
So Michaela just got done with her second interview, and during the time between wrapping up the second interview, we actually got a phone call back from Councilwoman Kate Gallego, and so we're actually going to call her back right now and drive back to the studio while I'm recording her interview on a voice memo while she's talking to her on the phone, if that makes sense. There's a lot going on. Okay.
Deadline.
I'm not a terribly religious person, but I think when you're on the Colorado River, there's a sense of history and majesty that somehow sort of touches your soul.
And I became deeply connected to it. It was the most beautiful place that I'd ever been. This magnificent river with these huge rapids, a powerful river through this incredible canyon.
It's my lifeblood. A lot of me is the Colorado River. The molecules of my body have been brought there because of the river.
According to the Arizona Coalition to End Sexual and Domestic Violence, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men have experienced domestic violence in their lifetime. Cronkite News reporter Courtney Malley takes a closer look at one particular group that feels they're not getting the resources they need.
The coalition also says Native American women face domestic violence at rates much higher than the national average. This can be attributed to many factors, but I spoke to 3 women who say domestic violence in their community is due primarily to a lack of awareness.
And then that's when I heard my uncle say, I don't know how you're going to tell Kayla, but your mom didn't make it.
22-year-old Kayla White was just 12 years old when her mom was killed by her father.
The way she had things set up for my siblings and I, she knew something was going to happen to her.
Growing up, Kayla says she didn't realize she was seeing signs of domestic violence at home, and she's not the only one. Native American women have a 50% higher chance of facing domestic violence abuse than any other woman in the United States. And on average, Native Americans ages 12 and older experience nearly 6,000 sexual assaults per year, 25% of those committed by a close family member.
She didn't really want to say anything because she wanted to protect our family and our family name.
In many of the reservations, there's no outlets like counseling, therapy, none of that. It's basic programs.
These women say the high rates of domestic violence on Native American reservations are due to a lack of communication and a lack of resources, just like the women's shelter behind me.
There was no homes, there was no anything.
One organization, however, is providing help and relief. The Community Alliance Against Family Abuse is working toward creating more accessible and applicable resources for Native American reservations in southern Arizona.
One of our big concentrations is specifically on better serving the tribal communities because we recognize, one of the biggest barriers to service right now is just access. Someone experiences sexual assault, say in Casa Grande or Maricopa, they actually have to be driven up to Scottsdale or to Mesa.
Although Native American communities are still experiencing domestic violence rates higher than average,
I would say they do have their own unique barriers that they face. Having the rural isolation, having the historical trauma, having potential substance use problems, because some of them didn't even have a name for sexual assault.
Townsend says they have a comprehensive plan for the next 3 years to hopefully change that.
Because back then it was just like, oh, this thing happened, this is gonna ruin my family. But the way I see it now is that it's made us stronger in a way.
Studies have shown domestic and sexual violence rates increase during times of stress, but the staff of the Community Alliance Against Family Abuse wants to emphasize that abuse is not a one-time act. For more resources on domestic violence relief, you can go to our website at cronkitenews.azpbs.org. In the Broadcast Center, Courtney Malley, Cronkite News. Así es, Dolores Huerta comenzó su carrera como una maestra en una comunidad de campesinos en California, pero renunció cuando vio las terribles condiciones en las cuales vivían las familias de sus estudiantes.